Welcome to Armstrong High School for Northwest Suburban Conference girls basketball. Tonight, it's the Totino-Grace Eagles paying a visit here to Armstrong. Hi, I'm Jay Wilcox along with Patty Sorensen. And Patty, Armstrong team, 4 wins, 6 losses coming in. They've kind of taken it on the chin against the real power teams that they've played. They beat some others, but I thought maybe their best win so far, a road win at Elk River last week for them.
I agree. I think that was probably a good win for them. I also like that they've been willing to take on some of those tougher teams. Helps them develop their chemistry, helps them figure out, okay, what do I got to do better, where are we, and gives them a chance to evaluate against the top team.
For Totino-Grace, I know you saw them with John Jacobson last week against Maple Grove. Totally different team from the team that won the 3A title last year. They're very young, very inexperienced team, and it's kind of shown in the record so far, but they are making strides.
They definitely are. They are young. They're trying to figure out what their chemistry as a team is, how they're going to get it done. But to watch them last week, I mean, they come out, they play hard, they go at it the whole time. I think they're going to be a fun team to watch.
Let's look at key players to watch for in tonight's contest, starting with the visiting Eagles, and Chloe Nuss is one of those young players that's coming on for them.
You know, and that's a bonus for them. She's a young player. She's kind of figuring out what her role is, how it fits in. And to have that experience at that age, it's just going to help her continue to improve.
And for Armstrong, a 6-year varsity player, Savannah McGowan. You can't miss her out there. Biggest player on the court, probably the best player on the court, too.
Well, definitely. You know, there you go. Talk about 6-year senior. Got a lot of experience when she was younger. And now is leading, 1,000-point scorer, 1,000 rebounds. Just a solid. It's been fun to watch her improve and grow throughout her career here.
All right, should be an interesting one here tonight as Totino-Grace aims for their 2nd win of the year. Armstrong trying to pick up win number 5. The Eagles and the Falcons up next.
CCX Media is the first place you go for local news and sports. But did you know you can sign up for those stories to go straight to your inbox on our website? Simply go to ccxmedia.org. Click on the subscribe button, and from there choose which notifications you want to receive. Then we'll send your favorite CCX Media news, sports, and city events straight to your inbox. Sign up now at ccxmedia.org.
And welcome back to Armstrong as the teams get set to do battle here. Falcons just got back to school this week after their holiday break, so Coach Easley was saying they're taking a little time to get back into routine here of having school and then practice, but he hopes that they come out and play well here tonight. They've got another home game coming up on Thursday night. And as we said, though, the encouraging sign may be one of the better played games of the year for both of these teams in their last games. I mean, Maple Grove ended up pulling away from Grace late, but they really gave them some trouble early on in that one. And as we said, Armstrong winning at Elk River. Let's take a look at starting lineups for these two teams, and definitely a more veteran group on the right side. The Armstrong side there is Melena Dilly-Starks, Carly Fisher, our captains, along with McGowan. Got Madison Fondo and Lauren Jones completing their starting lineup there. So 4 seniors and a junior. And for Mary Dengerud's Totino-Grace Eagles, we've got Atuko, Nuss, Regal, Spencer, and Lord. So just 1 senior in the starting lineup for Grace, Abby Lord. And I think they kind of knew coming into this year. I mean, they had, obviously they've got a lot of young players in there, but they also had in Hannah Herzig and Leah Dengerud, who graduated, 2 players that are kind of once in a decade or more players too. It wasn't just that they graduated some players. They had a couple that were among the better players in Class 3A.
Well, exactly, and that's one of the things they talked about. You know, it's building, finding out what this team is going to look like, what's this team's, mission. And, sometimes it takes a while, but to watch them play, they're continuing to improve and get better and better.
And to a certain extent, it feels like we did this matchup last year here at Armstrong, and it feels like the shoe's on the other foot a little bit. At that time, you would have said, should be a good matchup, but Totino-Grace is the favorite. They should win, and they ended up doing so, even though Armstrong gave them a good battle. this time around, you might kind of say, because of the experience-wise, that probably Armstrong, they would look at this as a game that they should get tonight. I
agree. I think they're thinking, you know, they've got this senior leadership. They've got some of these kids that have been with the program, many of them, for a long time. And, you know, just building on what they have and around what they have. And But like they said, they're smart. They look. They know what both teams are bringing. So neither team is overlooking the other.
McGowan and Lord will jump it up here to get things started. McGowan controls it. Armstrong first possession here as Fisher gets them into their set. Jones looking down low, but over the head of McGowan. They had her surrounded. And Armstrong, that's one thing that they've obviously been trying to work on, is they want to get the ball to Savannah as much as possible, but you don't want to force it either.
Right, and I'm sure Savannah's used to being covered by 2 and 3 people a lot. She's just going to have to get comfortable, establish her position, and she's going to be fine. But also be aware, Totino's going to throw people at her when the ball goes inside.
Eagles turn it over here. Both teams are going to look to do some pressing tonight, and that'll be an interesting part of the game for sure.
You know, and how each team handles the different press. Quickness, turnovers, what they bring to the table there.
Julie Starks got bumped a little bit, but they rule it a turnover on her. Right up the middle, they got a little jammed up, but still got it ahead. McGowan saving it in, but it went right to an Eagle there as Spencer unable to get the reverse layup to go, though. Now ahead to Jones. They'll kick that back out and they'll restart. Fondo, the drive, flips it up too hard with the left hand. There's McGowan, though, for the rebound, scores and one.
She did an excellent job of getting that rebound. Obviously, her height is to her advantage, but controlling her body to go up behind she was behind the person in front, and then to come around and finish with her left hand up in there.
Spencer will pick up the foul as McGowan trying to complete a three-point play here. And she's able to do it, so Savannah McGowan gets Armstrong off to a 3-0 lead here with that three-point play as they come with pressure. Fisher got a deflection and it leads to a steal, but then thrown away as they tried to throw it back to Fisher and zipped it into the Armstrong bench instead. Riegel being checked by Fisher, who's headed to Minnesota State Moorhead next year. Drive down the middle, McGowan, if she didn't block it, at least intimidated that shot.
I think just her presence makes somebody think twice as they're going in there, and she did a good job of avoiding all contact.
Julie Starks had it knocked away on the drive there, but it'll stay with Armstrong as Fisher will inbound. Come out top with it to Jones, and now Fondo. Tried to go across to McGowan. It was deflected and nearly stolen. We're going to have a reach-in foul against the Eagles. I think it's going to be on Riegel.
I think that was hard for Riegel because I think she thought she had the ball. She had it with one hand there, and then McGowan twisted.
Fisher missing on the three. Spencer the rebound. Atuko, that's going to be a charge. Fondo did a good job squaring up there. Another look at the drive, just took the shoulder right in the chest.
Yeah, she defensively got set real well. Smart on her part.
Now it's the Eagles' turn to come with that pressure, and it forces a turnover as they try to go long to Jones. So really how both teams handle each other's press, I think, is going to tell a large part of what goes on here tonight.
Well, I agree. You know, and it'll be interesting to see. I mean, obviously, Totino's looking for an opportunity to score so they can set their press up. But that is key tonight. Both teams are going to want to do this. And coming in from last week, that's what Totino saw the whole game against Maple Grove. Was pressing both sides the whole way, so they're prepared for that. Not sure what they were discussing there.
Rigo bringing it back out high here. Into the cutter. Let's see. Fondo tried to tip that pass, but it didn't hit her, and she pulled her hand back, and it will, in fact, be Armstrong ball. So more unforced turnovers than each coach would like here, I think, so far.
I agree. Well, with this, though, they have a chance to set up their press.
Knocked away by Atuco, and then saved in, and Atuco will get the layup.
That was a great job by Nuss to get that ball and then get it right back into Atuco.
And another turnover by the Falcons as Fisher was starting to cut and Fondo threw it where she used to be. There's Atuco knocking that one away, and then, yep, great save here. So a 3-2 Armstrong lead, and Grace forcing back-to-back turnovers. Kicked over to Spencer for an open look, but that one misses. Good block out all the way around, and Dilly Starks grabs the rebound for the Falcons. Fisher, a baseline jumper again. That one's an air ball, rebound by Nuss. Atuco lining up a three ball. That one won't go, and Spencer gets to the rebound. Underneath Atuco off the bottom of the backboard, then Lord missed, and Falcons will get it back running the other way. Fisher, though, was outnumbered and will hold it up. See, they surround McGowan in the post there. Knocked away from Fondo on the baseline drive. It'll stay with Armstrong. Got it into Fisher, and she'll drive right into the teeth of the D and scores with the left-hand layup. Nice move by Carly Fisher.
You just saw her confidence as she took it. She started to clear out, saw the opening, went in and finished it off with a nice little layup there.
Lord, a little Euro step there, and then we get a foul call against Armstrong's Jones. And look at this nice move by Fisher. It didn't really look at first like there was all that much room there, but the help D just kind of showed help, but then stayed where they were.
And she was smart enough to see that opening and just take it to it.
In for the Falcons is Avery Purifoy, number 22. And McGowan will grab that miss. Carolyn Schrader is in for Grace now, number 20. Here's McGowan getting a touch inside, turns and scores.
Again, she went to catch they fed her. She had two people on her, but she just, confidence control, did that step move and was able to get up and score.
A chance to interview Savannah this week. There'll be a story on CCX later this week, and she's kind of said that's the thing she's gotten better at the most, is finishing those plays inside. She said, when I was younger, I maybe wasn't as strong, used to miss a few of those even when I had a good look. This will be a blocking foul against Armstrong's Dilly Starks.
She just, watching Savannah, she just is more confident of what she's doing as she's making her move, and she's not rushing, which is something with experience that she's been able to improve on.
First free throw bounces out for Nuss. One more coming. Just one basket so far here for Totino-Grace. We've played just about 5 minutes. Slow start for both teams, but obviously even more so for the Eagles, who have had trouble scoring this year, averaging a little under 40 a game. And of course, that generally means you're not able to set your press up as much either when you're not scoring the ball.
And that's the hard part, because they love to press, and if they can't get it in the bucket.
McGowan finishing there with the right hand that time. She's a lefty. Nice drive there by Nuss, but denied.
You know, I think she was right in taking that, but she also had her teammate Atuko with her. And
inside again for McGowan. This time not able to squeeze it, and it'll be a turnover against the Falcons. So look at her last opportunity as she got defender on her back. Just went right up with that right hand. Her eyes kind of lit up when I said, do post play still matter in high school ball? She was like, yes, in my opinion, it sure does.
Uh-huh.
That'll be the second foul there on Milena Dilly-Starks as she bumped in and called for the foul there. So Emily Fisher will replace her. 9-3 lead here for the Falcons on their home court. Knocked away, but it'll bounce over to Nuss. And a nice drive and finish. Maria Radabal, the freshman, is in there now for the Eagles and gets the beautiful layup to go.
Bringing a little spark plug in for them.
Fondo passed up the jumper, and then a little runner, and that one will go. Maddie Fondo, looked like she had an open look from 12, but decided to take it to the middle, and this is going to be a foul as Purifoy got there just a touch late and banged into the pass recipient there.
You're exactly right. She was reading the court, reading that pass coming, but just was a little too late getting there.
Radabal will trigger it in here. Regal working it over, and they're trying to get into that motion offense, get Armstrong stretched out a little bit and get an open cut. Lord is going to step up and shoot it. It's short. And the Eagles win the scramble. There's Radabal. Oh, it missed the layup. Really nice move, but couldn't finish that one. It'll be out off Armstrong, though.
They are struggling to get them to drop because they're making some good moves into there, but it just, the basket's not being fair to them right now, they'll probably say.
Jade Peterson, a 6'2 junior, checking in for Armstrong. So 6'2 and 6'3 up front. That's going to be a 5-second count. Eagles unable to get it in. Carly Fisher gets it over to Emily Fisher. McGowan at the high post, trying to go down to Peterson. Kind of an ill-advised toss there, though. She kind of hoped rather than saw her really open.
She wanted to take that cut right to the bucket.
Lord trying to shovel it to a teammate after she tripped over an Armstrong defender, and it'll just be a turnover on Grace, no foul. Peterson to inbound here for the Falcons. Go right back to her with the ball. Now Carly Fisher, they got numbers here, but knocked away from behind. Looked like Armstrong might get a layup out of that, or at least a good scoring opportunity, but Eagles got a piece of it on the way in.
They had a 1-on-3, or 3-on-1, excuse me, break there.
And that's what, if you're Armstrong, you're hoping that, you know, you can use their press against them if you get by it. Emily Fisher, no good. Nice hands by Nuss to reel that one in. Pull up from the wing is good by Radabal, her second bucket. And that's one thing that Mary Dangerwood talked about too, is we want to beat them up court sometimes and you know, see if we can get some transition hoops. They don't have to be layups, but sometimes you get a shot like that last one if you beat the D up the court. They want to make McGowan have to run the floor a lot too. Inside to Peterson, too hard with that one though. Out of bounds off Grace.
Well, that's the thing you want to do. If your press can make their bigs run, you want to see how good a shape their bigs are in moving up and down the floor. And like you said, you know, it used to be people thought, oh, you only had to get a layup on the transition or press break. Well, if you can get a good jump shot within your reason and your range, you take it.
Fisher looking inside to Peterson, had it partially blocked. Good pass. Probably was one that they were thinking they were going to get a bucket out of, but good recovery defensively. Riegel dropping it off to Nuss, but Peterson with the block. Carly Fisher whipping it inside to Peterson and missed another. That's 2 in a row that Fisher's thinking, I should have had an assist there, but Peterson unable to finish either one of them. Top from the wing, no good. McGowan snares that rebound, comes in averaging about 11 boards per game. Peterson, here's that high-low over to McGowan, missed but was fouled. Probably a good foul to take there though, as they stopped the hoop anyway, as Carolyn Schrader came down across her arm.
Switched it up that time with their high-low, put McGowan down, Peterson top. That could become a very effective look for them as the game progresses.
Another look at this block at the other end by Peterson. Got it with the left hand right on top of the ball. And then here's that high-low look. Didn't get the hoop, but obviously drew the foul there. And McGowan makes a pair, so she's been good as advertised so far with 9 points early. 13-7 Falcons lead. Lord will stop and fire it short. McGowan rebounds. Fisher baseline with it. Now away across court, Emily Fisher. She'll stop and fire, but no good. Spencer back out to Riegel here. Riegel the drive and dish, and then they'll kick it all the way around to Radeball for 3. And nice rebound grab there by Purifoy, but then they take it away and the layup is good for Riegel. Peterson in trouble with the handle. She went into traffic there. Grace back to within 4 after getting that steal. Down low to McGowan, scores and one. There was not much room to get that ball in there. You might have even said that's a pass that you shouldn't make, but she's just so tall.
Steal and then that score. Here we go on McGowan. Oh yeah, she had 2 people hanging on her that time.
Schrader will pick up the foul again, her second. And McGowan perfect at the line. Obviously, Totino-Grace, as McGowan will check out, like most teams, comes into the night, first thing they say is, you know, we got to make sure we stop Savannah McGowan. So far, not really working out to their liking.
No, and that's going to be tough because Savannah has improved a ton, and with her height advantage and just her control as she goes up.
Riegel with the left hand. Nice little move there for her second basket. Grace, after a slow start, has gotten things going a lot better offensively. And there's a steal by Nuss. Riegel whipping it back. Ooh, Lord almost lost it. Atuko, an open look, no good. Billy Starks grabs the rebound. She had been sitting with 2 fouls, but now back in there.
They're struggling with their outside shots tonight. They're starting to get some good open looks. They're just not being able to finish with it.
Carly Fisher on the drive was fouled and will shoot free throws.
She had a nice little seam there that she saw to attack.
Yeah, had one from the other side of the court earlier. It's going to be Nuss on the reach in, picking up her first foul. And free throw not good for Carly Fisher. And second one is good, so 3 points now for Carly. Peterson will check out, Jones back in, McGowan back in, as Carly Fisher will also get a breather. Carly was telling me this week that she's played with McGowan since 5th grade, so they know each other's games quite well by now.
Yeah, that's kind of fun. What a good memory and good experience for both of them to have been able to do that the majority of their career. I was thinking it was kind of special earlier, too, when you saw Carly on the floor with her 8th grade sister, too. I said, when I was coaching, if there was the opportunity to rise, I always tried to find a spot to get the sisters on the court together, especially when it was one senior year.
The Tuco, the miss, but they'll get another crack at it as Regal that out high. Lord's going to step in and pull up there. No good. McGowan battling for the rebound and then had to get rid of it so she didn't travel, and Nuss will end up with the layup.
And that was a great job with the Tino girl as she went in to rebound against her. She just hung on.
And McGowan was kind of reaching back for it, you see. So
yep.
Tuco showing some good strength there, and then in another look at that one, I would say a good no foul call on either one of them too. They were both just kind of struggling over the ball, and even though they both wound up on the floor, I think probably a good no call there.
Well, and I also thought it was a good job of how the Totino girls gave their teammate an outlet. A lot of times when you see people go down the floor, their people aren't in a spot to get an outlet, and then you end up with another turnover.
Grace has bounced back well after the slow start, so they're within 4 points here. And as you said, maybe not hitting probably some of the shots that they feel like they should be, but you do feel better that you're getting some decent looks now, which they really weren't necessarily right away.
And their press right now is starting to disrupt a little bit, which is what they like to have happen. So giving them some confidence. And
Fisher picked up her dribble right at half court, and it leads to a turnover and a layup for Tuco. And this time Fisher was fouled by Nuss. So that'll be the second on Chloe.
And Chloe knew that as soon as she did it. She just brought her arms down as Fisher was trying to drive around and just got her.
Was the 7th team foul on TG as well, so Carly Fisher heading to the free throw line. Nuss and Schrader have 2 fouls for Grace, and Dilly Starks has 2 for Armstrong. It's been a relatively cleanly played game, not a ton of fouls here in this first half. Carly Fisher nails the first. Comes in averaging a little under 11 per game for the Falcons. And makes a pair, so she's now 3 for 4 at the line. And Armstrong up by 4. A little under 6 to play here in this first half. Pretty good ball game so far. Eagles and Falcons. Regal being pressured. That's going to be a 5-second count. I was looking, and it never broke the count. She lost the ball briefly, but they never stopped the count, and she was being well guarded the whole time there by Fisher. And gosh, you love taking a charge, you love getting a steal, but a 5-second call is kind of rare. I mean, that's showing that you've played good D out top.
It is, and we've seen 2. We've seen 5-second call on an inbounds. We've seen the 5-second call there. Those are kind of some of the ones that make coaches get a little frustrated there, pull their hair out.
Regal, nice drive and dish, and no good for Lord, but she'll get free throws out of it. That was really set up by the nice drive there by Regal. Going to be on Fondo. And Lord's free throw bounces around and out. And Grace has had trouble at the line so far. Sometimes a road game, you're not used to the settings and the rim and all that. They're 1 for 4. Billy Starks drive and dish. She took a look at that one from the baseline but won't take it. Back out. Jones will launch. That one spins out. We've yet to have a made three-pointer tonight for either team, which in 2022-23 season is pretty rare.
It is, and they've taken some shots. They're not getting them to drop.
Spencer from the baseline, no good there, and Regal wins the race to the rebound. Regal way around the horn. Atuko, a shot fake and drive. Let's see, this will be offensive foul on Atuko as Fondo gave up her body again. Look at this drive into traffic, and it was close.
Yeah,
that's a good indication of why you say the block charge is one of the tougher calls to make. I'm sure if you're a fan or a parent in red, you're saying, yep, that was a great take. And other fans in the white jerseys are saying, no, she was late.
Yep.
Fondo looking to McGowan, surrounded in the post there. Carly Fisher lobbing toward McGowan, and instead went all the way to the corner, and Dilly Starks. She turns the corner, a little runner too hard off the glass, but tipped it over to Jones. That one won't go, and McGowan, I think, will be called for that foul.
I think you're right. They kept trying to get it into her, and the Eagles are swarming her. They got 1 and 2 there real quick, and sometimes a third player coming down to defend her.
Fisher in for Fisher here as the sophomore Emily Fisher checking in. Armstrong is led all the way. They're up by 4. Radabaugh. And that pass was tipped and over and back, but now a scramble for it. And we'll get a tie up here, and the alternating possession goes Grace's way. I kind of thought Jones might have gotten away with a little push there, but it'll be Grace ball anyway. Radabaugh drives and kicks, and another missed 3. Tie up here, and now we'll go Armstrong's way. McGowan will inbound, but it does allow Grace to set up their pressure. Fondo to Jones. And off of Dilly Stark's hands, but she recovers it. Jones will shoot it from the wing, and again, nobody able to knock down anything from beyond the arc tonight. Lord will shoot it up. That one's a long 2. She was just inside the line. Gets the bounce, her first basket of the night. Eagles to within 2.
Kind of, I think, the first jump shot we've seen in a while.
Fondo on her knees trying to get rid of it here. Radabaugh ripped it away and stayed patient with it. Now a timeout taken by Grace. Radabaugh is very small, but gosh, she's feisty, and it looks like she really knows how to play the game.
Well, she's been the spark plug they've needed. She came in the first time and was able to get some shots off, was able to do some tips and deflects.
See Fondo just desperately looking for somebody in a red jersey, and Radabaugh just raked it away and then didn't panic. And again, I'm going to give officials credit. There's a lot of times you see a play like that where they're just assuming it's got to be a travel if she's sitting on her butt and looking around with the ball, but I don't think it was.
No, she did a good job there. I know that I've seen a lot of improvement on that call because it seemed to be in the past that was a quick call. Oh, that just assume it was traveling and make that call, and I've seen a lot of it just let them play.
So it'll be Grace ball as they have a chance to tie it up or take the lead with a 3. But if you've been watching the game, as I said, neither team has made a 3 yet, so I don't know if you'd necessarily count on the high odds of that happening on this possession, but you never know. Obviously, got to be one that breaks the ice.
Well, and I think one of the keys for both teams right now is to just settle down and get more ball movement. Move the ball better and get a better wide open shot. I know both teams like to attack.
Radabah got it back after losing it.
She's going to get I was going to say that's going to be a 5-second count because she's not getting rid of the ball. She was pivoting, but she just was struggling to try and find a teammate to get the ball to.
Schrader, I mean, certainly you don't like to give up the 5, but I will say that's better than throwing it out toward the top of the key and maybe giving the other team a fast break.
Definitely.
Dilly Starks looking to attack. Let's see, this is going to be a blocking foul, and the hoop will count. Elena Dilly Starks, I think a big key there was her good hard jump stop with that one. I think you're more likely to get the benefit of the doubt on this call when you're the offensive player and you take that jump stop. The defender may have been inside the circle there too.
That's true.
Not able to complete the 3-point play. However, she chases it down herself. Way across. Fondo is going to shoot that one from the baseline. That's an air ball. Dilly Starks winds up with it. No good, but a foul. So Spencer will pick up the foul. Dilly Starks, who just missed a free throw a moment ago, will head back to the line. Rattles this one home. Now's the time too where your coaches, you rely on your assistants somewhat for this too, to tell, okay, who's got 2 fouls or who do I need to maybe be managing a little bit here at the end of the half.
You definitely do. I always had an assistant, I'm sure these guys do too, that had one designated just to keep me on track with fouls and where my kids are at. You don't want someone picking up their 3rd foul right now with 2 minutes left in the first half.
McGowan, an offensive rebound, not able to get the shot to go though, and then we get a tie-up. It'll be Grace's ball. By the way, that other block charge on Dilly Starks, it looks like, I believe that was Schrader's 3rd foul too for Grace, and so she'll undoubtedly be down for the half and maybe a little in the second even. So 5-point Armstrong lead. Grace had battled back to within 2, but it got a little cold here. Regal in a lot of traffic, scooping it up and missed. McGowan grabs it. Carly Fisher to Emily Fisher. Atuko got a deflection. Now Dilly Starks. Into McGowan it goes. No good, but she was fouled. And she wanted the 3-point play chance despite the hit there, as Lord will pick up the foul. They did a better job that time of getting the ball moving side to side, so therefore just a little subtle opening develops to be able to feed that post.
And I think that's what they need to do more of as the game progresses. More ball movement so it opens her up a little better, because once it gets to her, she definitely has the advantage.
McGowan's free throw is good. 13 of the 23 points for the Falcons have come from Savannah McGowan. As you see, Purifoy is checked back in.
You know Totino wants to focus and trying to keep McGowan down on her points, but the more Armstrong moves the ball and makes the defense have to come out. Of course, they need to make some more outside shots too, and that makes the defense have to come out, which would open their post up better.
In there now for the Eagles, Erica Welsh, number 31, sophomore. McGowan knocked it away, but then recovered by Spencer. McGowan out there on the point guard right now. Regal looking to take her. Goes to the baseline, no good. Tuco the rebound, and she will go to the line.
That was a smart decision there with Tuco. She got the board. She kind of had to pivot around, but came back at it and drew the foul.
Be Emily Fisher picking up that foul, so Tuco trying to break the scoring drought for the Eagles, and her free throw bounces and drops. She has 5 points to lead Grace so far. Second one short. So under 40 seconds to go now in this first half. Armstrong leading by 6. Fondo whipping it across. Carly Fisher, a good power dribble, but missed it. Gets it back herself, no good, but she'll go to the line. Really good play to aggressively catch up on go up, but did everything but finish. And she'll ultimately get free throws out of it.
Well, and I think that's going to be another advantage as Armstrong, and most likely we'll talk about it in halftime too, is when McGowan's posting up and they're throwing 3 people on her, you've got to have somebody crashing the backside block, and that person's going to be open, and that's what Carly did that time.
Yeah, it was good recognition to see her there too. From up here, we can see it pretty easily, but from down there, obviously things are looking a little faster and more chaotic, so it was a good find.
Exactly. And, you know, once you do that enough and your teammates know that, they get to anticipate that you're going to be there.
A little bit of foul trouble for Grace now. That was the 3rd foul on Spencer, too. So they've been trying to contest inside and run into a little bit of issues there. Fisher missed her first free throw, and then now since then has made the next 5. 8-point lead, biggest of the game here for Armstrong. Radaba will take a 3, and no good with that one. Purifoy the rebound. Under 10 seconds to go. Armstrong trying to build on an 8-point lead as they hit the front court. See if they see the time.
Well, they had Fondo open, and she was waving her arms down here for the longest time as they were coming down the court.
So they missed the shot and not able to get it, but a good close to the first half for the home team, Armstrong, and they will take a 26-18 lead into our halftime break here over Totino-Grace. We'll have first half highlights and then our second half of basketball coming up. You're watching Northwest Suburban Girls Hoops here on CCX.
CCX Media, your source for great local programming, is now available on Roku and Apple TV. Our free app allows you to stream all 3 of our channels live. You'll also have access to a large on-demand library, including daily newscasts and full sporting events. To find the app, go to the store and search CCX and download our free app. Then sit back and enjoy all of your favorite local content. Now available on Roku and Apple TV.
Look at some of the Armstrong fans on hand here tonight as their team leading Totino-Grace 26-18 at halftime of this girls basketball matchup. So we check out some highlights from this opening half of play. McGowan grabbing an offensive rebound and getting the hoop there, and then they go inside to her, sweeping across the lane and finishing strong there. Had a good first half. Radaba provided a nice spark off the bench with that driving layup for TG. And then this time she'll stop and pop. A couple of buckets for Maria in that first half. Lob over the top. McGowan catching in traffic and scoring despite the foul there. And Tuco, as they got out, they were hoping to get out and run a little bit more, but at times we've got some things going with that. And then they get Abby Lord getting the bounce on the baseline jumper. And there was a good, strong finish there by Elena Dilly Starks for the Falcons. You see the scores in that first half of Tuco with 5, Regal and Radaba with 4 points apiece for Grace, and McGowan has done the bulk of the scoring with 14. Fisher also contributing 7. That's the 3 captains for Armstrong that have led the way so far. So see what adjustments each team makes coming into half number 2 here. It was closer than what the halftime score is for most of the way. Grace will be looking to bounce back again here. They trail it by 8 as we get set for half number 2 here on CCX Sports. Lots of good action in that first half, and let's hope we see more of the same here in half number 2 as Armstrong is out there and ready to go. Grace just breaking their huddle now as Armstrong will take an 8-point lead into this second half. I don't think they've ever trailed, but the margin was much closer for a good portion of that first half.
Yeah, I agree with you.
And it goes to McGowan. Has to kick it back out. Jones too tall for Fondo on the skip pass across court. And they started the game with a few of those kind of turnovers that Coach Easley and his staff probably not too happy with. I mean, turnovers, they're going to happen here and there, but you don't want them to be the unforced kind like that.
Yeah, that's the one that's like working a little more together.
Spencer fading away on that one, and McGowan rebounds. Fondo getting it over to Dilly Starks underneath. It looked like she might pass it out and then realized just how close she was, and she scores it.
She did a good job. She had 3 people on her on that one, and you're right. She thought she was going to go out. Ooh, nice deflect.
Fondo got a piece of it, and Jones up with the steal. Fondo stepping in a little closer here and sinks it. So a couple buckets to begin the half for the Falcons, and they are now up by 12, their biggest lead. And there's a steal by Dilly Starks. And had it blocked on the way up. She kind of pulled up her dribble earlier than she wanted to there and got stuck in a tough spot. Etuko hits a 3. First 3 of the night for either team right there.
I think Dilly Starks was trying to avoid a travel there, and it was just like, put the ball up.
Here's Nuss driving and drawing the defense to her, and Etuko buries it. We've seen a fair number of 3s attempted, and now one made.
You know, and there was the creation of some ball movement again, too, and it looked like she was going to attack because that's what they've been doing, and then she was able to kick it out to Etuko, who spotted up nicely.
Sometimes you see one go in, and then that, feeds on itself. That's what they're hoping, I'm sure.
Yeah, you feel like the lid finally came off the bucket maybe for a few of those.
Coach Easley seeing a lot of good things tonight, and a few not as good too, and that's kind of how their season's been. It sounds like they've had some good nights, and then like we were saying too, that they've played some really good teams along the way too that have blown them out a little bit, but you hope that your team learns from those too, and you're playing in the Northwest Suburban and in a tough section, so you've got to be ready to face those kind of good teams. And Even if you lose, you learn. And there's Dilly Starks. She started the half nicely. Reverse layup that time. And a runner will drop for Nuss there. That one didn't look like it was at good odds of going in, but it stayed up on the rim and dropped in. Jones. Carly Fisher an open look, but that one is wide. So 9-point game. I think the Eagles would like the pace to get up a little bit here, and it's been a little more up and down in the last couple possessions. Jones a good block out there. That's been kind of fun to see. Both teams, you can see that they are told in practice, you're going to block out if you're going to play for us.
Exactly. I think that's one of the most frustrating as a coach is if your kids just, they aren't getting on the boards.
Fisher had that one blocked. It'll be Armstrong ball. She had a nice little fake there, but then went up into Spencer, hoping to maybe draw a foul there. They said clean enough, and play went on, but Armstrong will get the ball back. Go right back to Fondo on that right side. Carly Fisher drives and finishes. Just kind of delayed and looked like she might pass it, and that's what the Eagles thought too. And back to an 11-point lead now for Armstrong. And a turnover there as they tried to go baseline to Atuko, who was starting to cut toward the hoop.
Yeah, I thought she thought Atuko was going to stay and spot up like she has, and then she made that cut. Instead, she was making the pass along the baseline.
Yeah, those kind of are tough because I don't really fault either player there. I mean, you're just trying to make the read that you see coming, and there's Nuss up with the steal. Radabaugh is going to stop and fire and hit a three-pointer. Maria Radabaugh, a confident player, and nails that one. Fondo had it taken away. Atuko. Here's Nuss. No good on the three, and then Fisher was held as she tried to come out of there. Only one hand was free anymore by that point. I think Radabaugh be called for the foul. But again, Eagles get a chance to set up that press, which has definitely given Armstrong some trouble here and there. Billy Starks will step back and fire that shot, no good. Schrader pushing it back the other way. Atuko had that one slip through her as Fondo tried to draw another charge there. Schrader missed it as McGowan rebounds.
I was surprised she went that far in. I thought Schrader might have pulled up a little sooner because McGowan was right there, and it was like, oh, I don't know if I'd want to challenge her with her height and her reach.
And the pass off target. Dilly Starks had to save it. Then tipped away though. Good hustle back by Fisher to get a piece of that one. Now Dilly Starks underneath, layup is good. Her third basket of the half already. 10-point game. Nuss driving it down the lane, knocked away just when it looked like she was going to have the layup. Regal back in there for TG. And they get it into Regal now. Nice cut and dish, but no good, and then tipped over to Fisher.
I think she heard the defender coming behind her because she made a nice cut, but that defender, I think, just made her think a little bit.
Ooh, almost over Purifoy's head, but she's able to grab it.
And like you talked earlier, I think some of the coaches are a little frustrated here with a few of the passes that...
Dilly Starks knocks down a three, and we'll have a timeout taken here. First three made for Armstrong, and boy, Malena's been red hot in the second half. Already has 9 points in the half. Got her feet squared up under her and able to drop it.
And that's, I'm sure, what Coach talked to him about both in his timeout and at halftime is coming down, be more organized. I'm sure he's talked about passes and like, come on, we got to give better passes. We're throwing too many away. But if you get set and you're moving the ball, get your body set, take your shots. They're your shots. You just to be confident and finish.
I think that's a good example of where sometimes getting a layup or two gets you into that mode of making shots. You know, they hadn't made a three at all, but she's had a couple nice hoops inside, and even though that's a much different shot, I think it's still carried over a little bit.
I agree with you. I think that it's like, you know, some of your shooters, when they're getting in a slump, they're not making their outside shots. It's like I always used to say, get in there, attack the bucket, make a layup, make something. And then it gives your confidence, okay, I've got that omen off me right now.
So a 13-point lead for Armstrong. We've seen a little bit of a faster pace in the second half, which I believe probably favors Grace, especially when they're trying to come back. They would like to see a little more up and down and a few more possessions to try and chip away at that lead. But so far, it hasn't necessarily shown up for them on the scoreboard in terms of catching up, though.
Well, and I also noticed after that last possession when they scored, Armstrong just played man-to-man. They didn't press. They just dropped back into man right away. Maybe a little different strategy. We're not going to press as much. We're going to just take you full court man.
Nuss steps up and fires, no good, and off of Dilly Stark. She had the initial block out, but then Schrader broke free and was about to grab that ball, so just knocked out of her hands, and it will be Grace is getting another opportunity with it here. Oh, Regal went behind the back, but didn't bring the ball all the way with. Down low, tried to go to McGowan, but just too flat of a pass there. Dilly Starks thought she saw an opening to get that one in there, but couldn't quite complete it. Subbing in for Armstrong now is Peyton Erickson, number 23 there. Getting her first court time tonight in the varsity game. Schrader whipping it across. Spencer will shoot that one in and out. Purifoy the rebound.
You just see them continue to struggle with shots that they normally would make on both sides, both teams. Because they had good ball movement that last time.
Erickson finding McGowan in traffic, and she scores. First bucket of the second half, 16 now for McGowan.
What was nice on that one is McGowan was getting bothered, and she just still maintained control of the ball as she went up and finished that shot.
Spencer will shoot up another one from near where she missed the last one. Pure for the rebound, but knocked away. And then the layup is good by Nuss. So 13-point lead here for Armstrong. Carly Fisher sweeping through the middle, no good. McGowan the rebound and putback.
She does such a good job of keeping the ball up there versus bringing it back down. You see sometimes a lot of posts, they get the rebound, they bring it down, and she does a great job of keeping it back up on those offensive boards and putting it right up.
So 15-point lead now for Armstrong.
You know, that came out with Dilly Sparks, a spark plug herself, you know, for them in the second half, knocking down a couple of her shots, giving her teammates a little more confidence that way too, and you can just see, you know, they're feeling more comfortable.
And the Eagles, it feels like they've kind of gotten their offense going a little bit, but now defensively they've given up a few more hoops too. It seems like both teams have started to pick up their games offensively, but that also means, you know, on the other side that your defense hasn't been quite as effective.
Well, and Armstrong has had a little more success too of getting the ball to their big, you know, getting the ball to McGowan, and then you've seen Fisher come in and make some really nice drives. You just see people starting to having some success at the things that they would be doing. but it's also hurt when, you know, Totino's got to make that bucket so they can set up their press, because their press can be hectic and can disrupt and cause issues for people.
Oh, Fisher had a near steal, but it bounced right back to Radabaugh. Riegel picking up that dribble now. Nuss. Riegel knifing down the middle with the left hand, and a nice finish there for Ava Riegel.
Almost a tie up there, but McGowan was able to rip it out.
Purify, whoa, and Lord gets back to block that one. Looked like it was going to be an easy two, but Abby Lord said otherwise.
That gives your team confidence too when you can see that happening.
Erickson back out. Fisher, here's Dilly Starks. Armstrong by 13. They go into McGowan. Foul before the shot as she made that catch and turn.
And that's what Lord did. She came over to help on that on the backside and fouled her before she was able to continue, before McGowan was able to continue and make the move to the basket.
Yeah, it looks like they put that one on Nuss, though.
Oh,
it
really?
should be her third.
Okay.
Erickson had that one blocked. Hasn't been in the game long there. Looked a little hesitant. Tuco will shoot the three. There's another rebound by Purifoy. Ahead to Erickson, and let's see. They call it out off of Grace as Tuco cut across in front of her there and got a piece of that ball apparently.
That's the one thing you notice with the Grace players. I mean, they're pressing, but when the ball advances, you've got people hustling back to get back in there.
The lob this time denied as Lord picked it off. Lord will shoot it up, and she buries a three. Eagles are definitely not out of this one yet. Back to within 10. Billy Starks gonna shoot that one. No, but she was fouled by Nuss. See if it'll be three. Yeah, it looks like it will be. Nuss is saying no, no, no. I think it's gonna be her fourth.
She's feeling like she got all ball on that.
See coming back here. Yeah, it looks like a foul to me.
Yeah, it looks like she got her wrist. And yeah, that is her fourth.
Billy Starks hits the first. She'll get two more. Empty on the middle free throw, and now a third one as they will take Nuss out with that fourth foul, and she's pleading her case there, but I would have to agree on seeing that replay.
Yeah.
I think a foul was warranted there.
Even if she thought she got a part of the ball, it sure looked like afterwards that as she was coming down, got her arm.
So a 12-point lead now for Armstrong as Dilly Starks makes two out of the three free throws there.
That was a nice cut that she missed there.
Tuco backing it out. Radabaugh drives and dishes. I think Armstrong wants to make them work for shots here. Radabaugh the miss. Tuco will track it down. And Carly Fisher up with the steal and fell, but got rid of it to McGowan.
I think one of the things I've noticed with the team, with the Eagles right now, and sometimes on the Armstrong side, as soon as the girl's catching it, she hasn't given herself time to see what everything's going, and boom, we're attacking. And there was a couple times that I think some of them have given up some shots they've had.
Fondo was fouled. A push call there on the Tuco. So it'll be a sideline inbound for Armstrong as Tuco was trying to get up and pressure the pass and got too much body into her, according to the official there. Emily Fisher picked up the dribble and Tuco with the steal. An easy two. And that pressure bothering him a little bit. McGowan. 10-point Armstrong lead. Fondo trying to scoop a layup up there. Going to be a foul, and she'll shoot free throws. See the foul call going against Lord. And free throw is good for Fondo. Tuco will check out. Missed on the second.
It was off of McGowan on that one.
So 46-35 Armstrong lead. TG trying to claw back in. Lord with the crossover down the baseline. No, but she was fouled. First foul of the half here against Armstrong, so we're getting some Grace fans with the sarcastic cheer there. McGowan will pick up her second. Lord's free throw is good. And she makes them both. So the Eagles to within 9. Billy Starks, double team coming, but got rid of it.
It was almost close to a little foul there. They were able to control themselves, but
we approach 7 minutes to go. Emily Fisher from Carly Fisher knocks it down. That's the first bench points of the night for Armstrong right there.
and there was a lot of patience on that play that time, just moving the ball around, working to get a good shot, getting them to collapse on her inside. She was able to kick out to her sister.
Radabaugh, nice drive, but couldn't finish it. Fondo traveled. Yeah, you got to have better balance there. She picked up the dribble and just was bouncing around. There's a nice drive. Boy, I think you're right, Pat. Just the type of possession Coach easily would have wanted there. Use up a little bit of time, make the defense work, and then calmly make a jumper.
And that's what both teams got to be working on right now. Make that defense work pass, because if you're working well enough, moving your ball well enough, you're going to get the look you want.
Lord short with that one, and it caught everybody off guard the way it caromed off the rim there, and they were trying to get their hands up, but it went out off Armstrong. Lord has been pretty eager to put it up when she gets it a few times there. You kind of say, I don't know if that was a great shot, but Regal into the lane.
I'd like to see Regal. She's gotten in there a few times in the lane, and she's had a person that I believe she could shoot over. I'd like to see her just turn and look at that shot.
Saved in. McGowan will grab it. Fisher over to Fondo. scooping it up. A wild shot there, and it'll be Grace ball. A moment ago when I said it's exactly the shot they wanted, that was exactly the shot they didn't want.
Exactly. It was kind of like, no, don't just throw it up. Pivot, look to somebody to kick it back out to if what you tried to do isn't there. You don't want to be taking an off balance, a shot that's really...
Yeah, Emily Fisher called for the reach in there. Handoff here to Lord. Radabaugh, the drive and dish. And put up and in. The lefty from the wing, knocking it down as Welch. 48-40. Here's Carly Fisher, and she was fouled by Lord on the way up. Not a bad foul to take there, though. You don't give up the layup anyway.
Well, and I liked her display of sportsmanship too, Lords, when she went and helped her right back up. I'm trying to block the ball. I took you down. I didn't mean to.
Fisher missing on the free throw. Lord will check out. That was her third, by the way. Megan Spencer back in. And this late in the game, it's not coming out because she got her third foul. You're not too worried about that part anymore. But
have her come out, get a quick rest, give somebody in there another maybe. We've seen their bench come off and be some spark plugs for them. So
the lead is 9 now for Armstrong as Fisher gets 1 out of 2. Spencer, an open look. That one's no good. Emily Fisher, a nice rebound. Billy Starks, I think, wisely pulls this one back out. Dilly Starks around, wide open look for Carly Fisher, won't go. Dilly Starks the rebound, she scores. Grace was saying that ball was out of bounds after they thought it hit the basket support above the backboard, but officials didn't see it that way, so it goes as a layup for Dilly Starks. McGowan the rebound on Radabaugh's miss.
Radabaugh, that was a good take for her, but there's the presence of McGowan that makes you think when you're taking that shot, and it was just a little too much.
Cross to Dilly Starks. She's left wide open, so she'll shoot it. No good. Radabaugh the drive and kick again. And Spencer down in the corner.
Ooh, and she had a nice screen to take that shot. I think her teammate thought she was going to take that.
Good patience here by Grace, but there's time starting to become a factor for them. And there's Regal with a nice drive and finish. 8 now for Regal. It's a 9-point game. Fondo trying to reverse layup, missed it, then Fisher tried to throw it up there and no good. Regal kicking it back out, and there's another 3 for Welch. And here come the Eagles. They're within 6. .245 to go. Armstrong now kind of hanging on. You can see they're looking to keep that ball moving and not really wanting the shot. Dilly Starks will take one though, and he hit. Oh boy, that was big. Grace was conceding that, saying, we're going to give you that shot. You got to prove you can make it, and she did exactly that. You look at, depending on the outcome, that might be one of the biggest shots of the night because they had been kind of back on their heels, missing, and the Eagles were definitely coming on. And Billy Starks took a look, said, gosh, I'm awful wide open here. I think I can make this.
Well, and I think after that, Coach easily wants that timeout because he wants to talk about, you got to know which ones are the shooters right now. And we can't let them back in by, they're having a hard time attacking the inside with the posts and the presence that McGowan has in there. So Totino's trying to take outside shots, but you got to know those shooters and you got to get out on them.
And fair to say, Welsh probably isn't the first name on the scouting report. She hadn't really even played until pretty late into this game, but now has knocked down a couple from beyond the arc. And then also you have to remember she's a lefty too, which throws a little different look into the mix too.
Well, and especially if you didn't scout her enough, and then she gets on, and it's like kids naturally will go to guard the right-handed shooter, and she's a lefty.
She's not in the game right now, however. Nuss coming back in after sitting with foul trouble a little bit. And traveled, Nuss, as she tried to make that pass. Lord thinking it was called on her, but I think it was actually Nuss before she got rid of that ball. She took maybe a little extra step.
It looks like Totino took Rodabow out too in that last timeout, so there was a change on each team for players.
Ahead for Dilly Starks, and she'll get the layup. Boy, she has had a heck of a second half here for Armstrong. They're now up by 11.
And that was total heads-up play by Carly against the press. She was down there wide open and made a beautiful pass to her.
Tie up here will stay with Totino-Grace. And those are the kind that you're glad that your player sees it, but you got to execute it though too. You don't want to throw it away.
Exactly. It's like take that and then finish that shot.
So the Eagles had powered back to within 5 points, and now it's gone back to 10 after the layup and three-pointer for Dilly Starks.
And there's Totino thought, okay, we're crawling back in, and then you get that nice finish down here on that transition play of breaking the press there. And Coach Easley's saying, play smart defense, take care of the ball, take the smart shot right now. You're going to get pressure coming at you, but they don't really need there's no need to rush a shot, that's for sure.
Nuss will kick it back out. Atuko for three, and not good, and Dilly Starks the rebound. Back out to Fisher as they play keep away here. Down low to McGowan. She'll score it.
That's what such a weapon she is, because they can play keep away and everybody's going out against the perimeter, and then you got McGowan posting up for an easy one.
Regal fouled on her way in and will shoot free throws. Emily Fisher will pick up that foul. And Regal unable to knock it down. It's 1 out of 2, so 58-46. Gowan's pass tipped and stolen. Atuko. Tried to go to Spencer, but she couldn't save it, and Armstrong will get it back. So the Eagles obviously still facing long odds, but if they had been able to get a a layup there, they'd at least be possibly still in it. But Fondo up the sideline. Ooh, might have traveled there.
Yeah.
Yep. Purifoy will check in here for the Falcons. Spencer launching. That one's no good. Regal comes out of there with it. And that one won't drop. McGowan a rebound in traffic. And was fouled.
Wasn't sure. It looked like one of them was maybe thinking of calling a jump ball, and one was with the foul.
Spencer will pick up the foul. McGowan sitting at an even 20 points right now. Free throw good.
She sure made that look effortlessly, that free throw.
She's got a little hitch in her free throw too, but she's still very good free thrower. You see she kind of brings it to a stop. Makes a pair. 8 for 8 at the line tonight. Boy, that's another thing that can be a big weapon when you're an inside player that draws fouls and makes them. So 60-46. Looks like Armstrong is indeed going to hang on and get this win tonight. Matuko from the baseline, no good. McGowan, another rebound. Deflected away and out of play. It'll be Armstrong ball. Carly Fisher to McGowan. Pass deflected there. It'll stay with Armstrong. Out of bounds off Lord, it looks like. Not a foul, but it was touched by the defensive player and then hit out before McGowan picked it back up. And there's a steal by Nuss, and she'll have an easy layup. Eagles not giving up. They're down 12. And Fisher is fouled by Atuko. Fisher's free throw is good, so she now has 11 points.
Coach is saying he's just pulling them back off the line. We're not giving up an easy layup. The rest of, there's only 15 seconds left, but he didn't want anything too easy going up.
So Falcons by 14. Ooh, a nice catch of a high pass by Regal. Atuko launching a three here, no good. Out of bounds, it'll stay with Grace, but only 3 seconds remaining.
I think there's the case of, like Totino coach said, she said, we're young, we're improving, developing, and then you've got all these seniors on this other team that, have been in multiple different situations throughout their career here. So it's like, just stayed steady, stayed the game, and just came plugging them along, and second half things started to roll a lot easier for them.
Inbounded here, Carly Fisher, and that is going to do it as Armstrong will win it 62-48. It was a lot of McGowan in the first half, a lot of Milena Dilly-Starks in the second. And the Falcons get the W here. 22 points tonight for Savannah McGowan, 21 for Milena Dilly-Starks. And Carly Fisher also in double figures with 12 for the Falcons, who are now 5-6, and they're 3-3. Conference play for Grace. 10 points for Atuko and 9 each for Nuss and Regal. Hope you've enjoyed tonight's broadcast here from Armstrong High School. For Patty Sorensen and all of our CCX crew, I'm Jay Wilcox. Good night from Armstrong.